I'm going to show you the mini key tool by VVDI. So this is the second generation. So the first one was like a bigger black one. Then they brought the mini out, which is the cheapest. There's actually brought now a new one that's like a touchscreen pad that's going towards a little bit like programming. But today I'm going to show you this one because this is the most popular one, simply because it's the cheapest and the most commonly used. Alright? So this is very similar to like the KDIY X2. It's a remote maker, it also does frequency testing, and it also does cloning. One thing I like about this is the kit's about £120. Okay, the only cloning you pay for is through token and ID 48. However, you get a couple free to get it used to it, and if you're actually using this machine to produce remotes, you actually get free tokens towards the ID 48 clone. But remember, it's only ID 48, so it's only VAG group really you'll use it on. So this one, as you notice, there's no buttons on it. I want to zoom in. It's actually using a mobile app, which we'll look at. So main updates are done via Bluetooth, which is fantastic. If it needs a major update, use the lead, plug in into your computer and do your major update. But if we're using cloning, we'll just use our phone or iPad and the device. If you want to use remote making, if you get wireless, you just stick it on. But today I'm going to show you wired, which will use the wire. Okay, so the interface is quite simple. You turn it on and you open up the app. And then you look on it, it gives you the pictures. That's the old key tool. So click cancel. There you go. And this is the new one. Okay, so you've got a couple of different functions here. If you want to create the remotes, which we'll go through, you click on remote vehicle and we select which one we're going to do. So for instance, let's go for a forward. Now we can select, so what we're looking for is the vehicle we want. So if you see that this says keyless, you can actually use these new smart ones. This is the first device I know that actually allows you to do smart keys. It's a universal remote that all look like this. But you do it by wireless, create it wirelessly, and you just stick the blade in there. That can then be used to program into forwards and stuff, keyless keys, which is fantastic. So they're the new technology. They're about £20 each. But for the normal ones, they're about a tenner. So let's go through showing you. So for instance, focus there, 15, 12 to 15. That's the picture, so you can see it. Quite clear, even gives you a bit of a description. So what we do is we open up our remotes, pull the back off. Remember, if it's wireless, you just need to stick it on. This one isn't, and we're looking for this component. So it's same on the KDIY X2. It has two little prong teeth that go into them two little prong teeth. So that slides in. Always make sure the battery's out. Same with the KDIY, exactly the same functionality. Then stick into that. Okay. And all we literally do is click generate. It's going to automatically detect the machine, detecting it, and it's sending the signal across. Writing it. Takes roughly about a minute. But remember, this will not suddenly start the engine. You still have to program it as it would be. There you go, complete. So that is now, when I insert this remote into there, it's ready for that vehicle. So it's a fantastic piece of kit. Instead of you having to stock all genuine remotes in stock, you can use this. But sometimes customers come on a little bit because they might not look like the original. So we commonly use it on VW, Mazdas, Hondas and so on, because I can get this very similar shaped remotes. So that's how we make the remotes. Now, cloning is very good on this. Xhorse were the first to bring in, I wouldn't say cheap cloning because KDIY brought cheap cloning in first, but they brought it on a universal chip. So it's one chip that does all the cloning functions, not like other machines you have to keep collecting them, but they're relatively cheap, they're less than £5 a chip, where other cloning machines are about 15 quid a chip. So literally we go under transponder clone, we read the key, so the Toyota highest, read the transponder, it says clonable, so we click clone, start clone.
Please take out the original car key
talk
and
through
better put
with
in
you.
VVDI
It's fantastic.
Super. You'd better put VVDI Super chip.
Tells you exactly what to do. Done. Successfully copied. So that's just in a Toyota Hiace without going into the car. Now let's show you another one. Now we're going to do so always click read transponder first. So it's a Xhorse VVDI key, it says clonable, we click clone. Remember we can use the same cloning chips over 5 times, so click clone. It says 48 chip, done.
Please put original key.
Okay. So it's original key. If you're cloning off a key, you click on that one.
Please put snip coil
this is in
close
snip,
to
so on
ignition
ID
switch.
46.
Then use working key turn on off ignition switch.
Okay, so what it's telling you is on ID 46 and ID 48 cloning on all machines, you have to go to the ignition, snoop the data. Alright, so it's telling you to get the key in the ignition, put the antenna right close to the ignition, turn it on. This requires about 8 turns, some cloning machines only 3. But once it's snooped it, it'll put the key in, put the chip in, does the chip. So it is really effective, okay? One thing I like about this extra is, this tool, it's got extra functions where, do you know on Land Rover remotes or BMW remotes where the battery charges off the vehicle, you can actually put the keys in here and charge them for up to 20 to 30 minutes to get them working again. Alright, not really ideal for general customers because you want to try and sell them a new key, but you could do a brand new key, then put that in charge whilst you're doing the new key and say to the customer you manage to get it working again and maybe charge them £10 extra, which is fantastic. It can also do signal testing on the car, so you can check up and make sure the antenna is picking up the signal, so because that could be a fault with the car as well. Updates are relatively straightforward as well. So this Xhorse tool is really good because it's a cloner, it's a remote maker, and it's got some extra function as well. But it's kind of a plan A cloner, and you always need a plan B. Like any key learning procedure, we always want many plans attack. We never walk to a job with one cloner, with one programmer, with one EEPROM machine. We want a variety, just in case this loses signal. What happens if the server's gone down? What happens if you run out of chips? All those things need to make sure, because on cloning machines, you have to have a specific chip for each manufacturer on each machine. Whereas with programming, it's any chip using any machine as long as it's the right one for that car. Thank you.